Welcome to the Get Your Goals Annual Challenge, Day 56. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, and today we're going to talk about a couple of really interesting topics. One, we're going to take our action steps that we came up with yesterday with respect to our emotional well-being and our emotional goals for this year, and we're going to break those down into, and with a broad paintbrush, come up with some action plans. We're going to work on the action planning. How are we going to actually implement the strategy and the things and the steps that we thought about yesterday when it comes to our emotional well-being. So for example, I am going to do more with eliminating trapped emotions and my heart wall, so that I have more positive and less negative emotions that impact me and thoughts that pop into my head. That's one of the action items, action steps that I put on my brainstorm list of things that I can do for each of my different 3 goals. And so today I will think about what are some actual plans and strategies I'm going to put into place, and then the steps where they fall under those, so that I have a roadmap of what I'm going to do. I'm not just going to leave emotional well-being this month at the end of the month in a couple of days and say, okay, did that, been there, done that, all done. No, I want to have some things in place, some systems in place, so that I'm automatically working toward my emotional well-being goals. So today our topic with respect to emotional well-being is psychic or energy vampires. Now this is a pretty new topic to me. I don't think I ever really thought about it until probably 2010 or so, 2011, following my sudden cardiac arrest in 2010. I did a lot of research and a lot of studying about different things, different areas, different aspects of our health, and that included emotional well-being. And the topic of psychic vampires came up, and I don't remember where it first came up, but basically it reminds us to pay attention to the energy that people in our lives and people around us bring to different interactions and different situations. And an energy vampire is someone who really kind of sucks the energy or the positivity or the life force out of you because of the way they behave when they're around you. They drain you instead of adding value to your experience, your interaction. I think we've probably all known people like that, and sometimes we might have even been a person like that. And we all go through phases where we need more attention or less attention, or whether we've got bigger problems and we need other people's help, or we just need someone to be a sounding board for us. But are we always like that, draining the life out of other people, or are we giving value and adding value and making sure it's a balanced relationship? If you believe in balance, I don't think that there's any such thing as balance across the board that works out for all of us. I think the universe tries to ebb and flow. That means that there's a polar effect to everything. So sometimes when you're feeling good, your friend's feeling bad. Hopefully you bring each other out of that on a regular basis. So what are some signs? What the heck is an energy vampire? Again, I think they're just somebody that sucks the energy and the life out of you, or you feel bad after having been around them most of the time. So I'm going to share some symptoms and some signs that you are interacting with people that do that to you, or are energy vampires. And then I'll share, what do you do about it? What are some things that you can do about it to make sure that people are energizing and contributing to you and your life positively, and you're contributing to other people's lives positively as well. I'm going to grab my magnifying glass so I can see these. Some symptoms of an energy vampire are, and remember, take these in context. It's not if your friend or relative or acquaintance does this sometimes. It's if every time they're around you they do this, and every time they're around you you feel like you've been, just exhausted or anxious or nervous or some negative energy, or you're just zapped of all of your positive energy. So somebody that's constantly seeking attention and validation. Talking excessively about themselves and their problems, dominating conversations and not allowing others to speak, making others feel guilty or responsible for their problems, making guilty or responsible, feeling drained, exhausted after spending time with them. Every time you're around a certain person or a certain friend, you are just zapped and you just want to go take a nap. Or have a shot, or whatever works for you. Spending time with them is exhausting. Experience anxiety or mood swings around them. Is their behavior triggering negative feelings in you? Are you feeling tired, exhausted, depressed, anxious, anything negative when you're around that person all the time? And if so, what are you going to do about it? There's lots of things you can do about it. Number one, protect yourself. And you can research this. There's all kinds of ways. We could talk for a day on different ways to protect yourself from people that zap your energy or take your energy. Guess what? Most people that behave this way, they would never consider themselves energy or psychic vampires. They wouldn't think that they are taking anything away from you. However, it kind of sounds like narcissists, right? Or people with other disorders that don't realize the impact that they have on other people. So what do you do about it? Protect yourself. There's lots of ways to protect yourself. There's energy, scientific ways of protecting yourself, or I like to just kind of create an imaginary boundary around myself, and anything that makes me feel bad, I just let it bounce off, and then I just let the things about different people that feel good to me come into my boundary, come into my life. Share your experience. Oh, no, wrong. That's our action item for today. I'm on the wrong section of my note. Protect yourself, set boundaries with people. I mean, you should do this with people anyway. We should have, and I wish I'd known this when I was younger, that we can set boundaries. We can say, this is what I expect of you, this is what you can expect of me, this is our boundary. And with different people in different relationships and different situations, the boundary is different, right? People that you're significant others with, their boundary is very different than, your kids' school teachers or people at work or acquaintances at the gym, whatever. We set boundaries. We need to set boundaries with people so that they know what we will and will not tolerate, what is not acceptable. All of us have like this physical bubble around us and boundary. And when people enter our boundary and it's not okay, it makes us anxious, and we know, I think all of us have at least a 3-foot bubble. Depending on how comfortable we are, our bubble's bigger or smaller. Depending on how comfortable we are with another person, our bubble is bigger or smaller. And if people invade that space or invade that bubble, it's very, very uncomfortable, and we usually react in some way. Not always in the best way that we would want to behave, but sometimes it's a matter of, hey, get out of my space, get out of my bubble. Practice self-care. The more we take care of ourselves, the more mentally, physically, emotionally healthy we are, the less other people and other things impact us. But if we're not careful, other things will impact us. If we're having a hard time, one of the worst times to interact with somebody who's normally a narcissist or a social, or I guess there's social vampires too, let's be honest. A psychic or an energetic vampire is when we are at a low ebb, when we're weak, or we're having a challenge of our own. It's the hardest to interact with people that are liking to take advantage of us, even though they might not know that they are on a conscious level. And then finally, sometimes we have to cut ties with certain people. I think people enter our lives and leave our lives for a time, a reason, and a season. And so most people that we know aren't in our lives for the whole extent of our lifetime, right? Maybe your family and friends are, a few friends, but very few are with us throughout our entire lifetime. And usually they come into our life to show us something or teach us a lesson, and then we can let them go, or they move about in their life because their life journey is different than ours. So our action item today is to do the action plan thing and have your strategy mapped out for your emotional goals this year. And then also ask yourself and just take a little gut check. Have I ever experienced an energy vampire? If I have, how did it make me feel? How do I know that's what happened? And then what did I do about it? Or ask yourself, is there anyone like that in my life right now? Am I experiencing that from anyone in my life right now? And if yes, what are you going to do about it? Set some boundaries, take care of yourself, and determine how much you are and are not going to let that person be involved in your life. And again, it depends. Sometimes when I'm feeling really strong, I don't have a problem being around people that need help and are more challenged. But other times, nope, I got heart surgery coming up, so I guarantee in that time period, there will be no energy vampires impacting my life. All right, if I can help you in any way, ask. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow. We're going to talk about some more of our emotional well-being and goal-setting goals. And I don't even know what tomorrow's topic is, so surprise for all of us. Have an awesome day. If I can help you in any way, ask. Otherwise,